Hi, everyone. Good morning. Happy Thursday, and welcome to Viva Cafe con Leche. I am the Badass Buddha. I am Lori Monaco, coming to you from a very snowy southern Connecticut, where we got even more snow last night. We're supposed to get more snow tomorrow, more snow Saturday. It's like the never-ending snow. It looks pretty, but all right already. Enough already. But welcome. I am your authenticity teacher. My business, Align Yourself Inc. I create and facilitate workshops on mindfulness and transformation for anyone and everyone. I can come to your company virtually, in person at some point. I am a chiropractic physician, and I also do VIP and group coaching, and I speak. And I have a fabulous weight loss program. So welcome from the Badass Buddha.
Good morning. Hola, mi gente. I am La Margarita, your spiritual and creative healing life coach. And I am also completing a workshop for creative healing. So you will be doing art during the workshop and learning the powers of color. So that is amazing. I'm excited about that. I am your wedding officiant. I am your notary. I am your magically orgasmic being. Buenos dias from your gladiator guru.
Good morning.
Welcome.
Everyone. And look at Tiffany Bryan's on already. Morning, Tiffany. Happy Thursday. She said, "You two look beautiful as always." Well, thank you.
Thank you.
We try. This is, most of the time we're just like literally getting up and throwing stuff on, right? Pretty much. I mean, that's pretty much, don't hate us because we throw stuff together. But I've always been that way. Have you ever really taken a long time to get dressed and done?
I don't, because after my night shower, I get what I'm wearing the next day, so I lay it out. So all I gotta do is shower in the morning and put my makeup on and put my clothes on. So
that's very efficient. I don't. I do wait till the morning, so that's my only thing that takes long. But I'm a night shower too. So usually what I do is I'll shower and then I'll braid my hair so that it's not just like the frizzy mess in the morning. And then I'll take it out of the braid and I'll just put, I put product in before. So I do. That's one thing I do love about the fact that my hair is the way it is, because I've been able to just get up and go. I've never had to really put much effort into it. And it took me a long time to appreciate that and really understand how powerful that was when I see other women that are just like doing so many things to their hair. And I'm like, I just kind of get up and go. And they're like, really? I'm like, I've just always been that way. But I think part of it is I'm just lazy. I'm too lazy to do it.
No, if I can't fix my hair, I'll throw on a fedora or I'll throw on a scarf.
You rock the scarf. You really rock the scarf.
Or I will make 2 braids and do like a scully or a baseball cap.
I can't make braids when my hair is dry. It's a frizzy mess. I can only braid my hair when it's wet. That's the only time I can braid my hair.
No, we have different texture here.
Oh yeah, no, you have very straight hair, and I have. If I put like a brush to my hair, it's forget it. It's
gonna go like this.
Oh yeah. You remember what's her name? The comedian from Saturday Night Live, the one that passed away at a young age.
Gilda.
That's what my hair would look like that.
I love Gilda.
I do too. She was awesome. She was absolute. My sister looks a lot like her. In fact, people used to say that to her. She'd be like, when she was still alive, they'd be like, "Are you Gilda Radner?" She's like, "No, but I wish I was. That'd be kind of cool." So good morning, everyone. And how's everybody's weather? What's the temperature like? What are you drinking for coffee? Let's kind of hit all of it. Good morning, Bridget. Bridget Williams is on this morning. She's on in the chat, but she's also going to be on the show in a few minutes. Francia's in the house. Good morning, Francia. And Kimberly. Good morning, Kimberly. Lillian is in the house, always with the queens, the queen of the queens, Lillian Maldonado, everyone.
Reinas. But you know what? I thank you for that, Lillian and Francia, when they always say it, because we women are queens. You know, we are the breeders of life, and we got to remember, and we got to know our place. And when we're getting knocked down, or our feelings get hurt, or our hearts shattered, guess what? Straighten the crown, and it's cry, weep, wipe, get up, keep moving. Right?
That's right. Adjust it. That's why you have that. She created that, and you guys are all a part of that. Adjust the crown. That's all. You fall, it tilts, just fix it. That's it.
Or if you want to walk with swag that day, let that shit be tilted. Like, yeah, that's right. I'm coming. I'm a little, I got that little shattered look to me, but hey, the crown is still in place. And that's what we got to remember. It's our lives are not always going to be perfect.
Yep.
For us women, the power that we hold, the strength that we pass on from generation to generation, it has to stay fierce. I was watching this movie with Tiffany Haddish and this other girl, like a boss or something, and Salma Hayek was in it, and she's like, we have to be fierce. I mean, she's fierce in a weird way, but yeah, that reminded me of that. But we have to walk with such a knowing, that surpasses confidence, just a knowing, and I am walk.
Yes.
That's how we have to walk. So, buenos dias and good morning.
Jonathan's on. Good morning, Jonathan. Desiree is on. Good morning.
So, yeah. So,
what you drinking this morning? Anything new?
I am. And it's so delicious. I actually just grounded the beans right before I brewed it. So I'm very happy with it. So yes.
Keep talking so I can just type some shout outs. because they're coming in fast and furious. I love it. Everybody's popping on.
So yeah, this is my favorite mug. This is my mug that takes away all the negative, sad energies. This is mine. Hamsahan. I forgot what it was. So this is this morning. My pearls, because my name, Margarita, Margaret. Margaritas are daisies, but Margarita and Margaret is the meaning of it is pearls.
It's a mixed drink.
Girl, it's too early for that shit. But so yeah. So I think when you get up, like I tell you. When my alarm goes off in the morning, my eyes are barely open. I'm already praying, giving thanks to God for another day, showering him with praise, giving him gratitude, and telling him, you know me, I'm frazzled and all over the place, so lead the way so I can follow, so I can make today a great day. Then I rotate my feet, and then I start my day. And I think if we all start the day just giving thanks. I give it to my God, who's also my universe. So, and I think that if we give gratitude to something beyond us, something bigger than us, guess what? You're filled. Like it's an instant sensation. It's like that firecracker was lit up your ass, and you jump up and you get what you got to get done.
Hey, listen, I would love that firecracker up there right now because I'd like to go to the bathroom.
I tell you, buy that ballerina tea, girl. If any women up here know about that ballerina tea, that will clean you out.
Yeah, you know what though? It's only because, so this is interesting. So the program that I offer, which is really great, by the way, and I got to plug it only because you will lose weight with this program. But the other piece is, when we're not, as young as we used to be, you can you can really boost your health with this because it's an elimination protocol, and you can detox your body and you can get rid of a lot of stuff that's been causing you grief, like illnesses and stuff. So it's something to really, really consider. The only one caveat, and this is not with just this program, it's any program that you eat a clean diet, is that once you cut out some of the crap that we eat, it actually shifts your intestine, the motility the motility ability of your intestine, and until your body gets used to it, you get kind of stuck a little bit, And so it's been this process of trying different things to see what works, not just for myself but for some of the clients. So so I've tried a bunch of products, but in the end, it's going to be like at some point that'll resolve itself, but it's so worth it as far as any other health issues, like, I mean, I don't have any. I was thinking about this morning. I got up this morning and I don't hurt, I'm not in any type of pain. And I was thinking about you because I know you were saying with the, where your current sleeping arrangements, it's not easy for you.
Yeah, that recliner is kicking my ass. I've been sleeping in a recliner for almost 2 years now. And at first it was like, oh, it's okay. But lately, no.
Yeah, it's too much pressure in certain points of your body. So we need to get you out of that. But then also, with inflammation comes pain. So anyway, that's something to just consider. And I have another session starting. I have one more session for February 27th. So between February 27th and April 10th, you can lose 20 to 35 pounds. I mean, come on, you just in time for getting warm, and hopefully we'll be getting out and about traveling this year. That's the goal for the summer, is to be traveling to different places this year. All right. So Yvette Falcon, good morning. I love that name, by the way.
I know.
So it sounds like you should be a writer or like a poet.
Yes.
Okay. So, Bridget, please send the link. Bridget, you're talking about please send the link for what? My program or something else? Just to clarify what the link is for. And let's do our intention and we'll do our mantra, and then we'll get Bridget on here because it's going to be great. Mm-hmm. Sorry, let me train of thought. Okay, what do you have, my dear? You have, I have to take my thing off. You have the intention first, correct?
Yes. My quote for celebration of Black History is, the time is always right to do what is right. The time is always right to do what is right. Martin Luther King. My intention is, today I will embody an attitude of gratitude. Today, I will embody an attitude of gratitude. And when you do that, it's like putting Vaseline all over you, that nothing negative is going to stick. It's just going to slide right off. Because when you embody an attitude of gratitude, there's no judgment in your day. You're not seeing anything but, sunshine and rainbows. And that's what sometimes we need to revert to. Instead of seeing the ugly, just say, look beyond it, because there's always beauty after the rain. Windstorms, whatever. When it's calm, it's beautiful. It's peaceful. It's a mess, but you know what? It's still beautiful. So that's mine. And what is yours? So
mine is, so the quote in honor of Black History Month is from James Baldwin. Love takes off the masks we fear we cannot live without, and know we cannot live within. So that's the quote. And the mantra for today is, I love me, I choose me. By Valentine's, whatever. I love me, I choose me. Don't wait for somebody to buy you something special for Valentine's Day. Just buy yourself a little something. And if somebody buys you something, great, or makes you something. I love the makes, like I still have the younger kids in my house. So I love, my little one said to me the other day, I'm going to buy you something for Valentine's. I'm like, I don't want you to buy me something. I want you to make it for me, because that's the best of all. What was it? A few years back, my 17-year-old, she made me this gigantic card. And it was, I can't remember if it was for Valentine's Day or Mother's Day, but it was huge and it was just so spectacular. And unfortunately, it's like started to fall apart, but I kept it. Like I purposely pulled it apart properly and put it in a plastic bag because it was just what she wrote in it was so beautiful, and just she took the time, and it was just, I loved it. Like that. Those are my favorite. I'm the macaroni necklace kind of person, like that's good enough for me.
I love when mothers are like that. It doesn't make me feel good that I'm not. I mean, it doesn't make me feel bad that I'm not like that.
Yeah.
Like,
no, it shouldn't. I just, it's not for everybody. And that's the beauty of it. There's no judgment. I don't sit there and look at it and go, oh, how could you not be like that? That's me. I love that stuff. And that's perfect.
Now, let me tell you something. I have Christmas letters that my kids wrote when they were little. Like Tiffany was about 8 and Robert was 4, or maybe she was 9 and he was 5. I don't know. But they created, we would always do things. So they created this, what's that paper? The red and the blue paper, the construction paper. They folded it in half and they each drew their version of a snowman. And then they wrote what they wanted. And little Robert Tiffany, I think, wrote what he said he wanted. And then she wrote his. And then at the end, she writes, Santa, please bring my brother Slim Fast. And
oh, that's so funny. Please bring my brothers.
And that's when Slim Fast was big, I guess. So I still have those. I have my grandkids' first handprints from daycare. I still have those in my photo box. So those things like that. Yes, I still, and I gotta collect one more, but I have a onesie from each grandkid that I stole from their parents from when they were newborns. So I have, so I need one more. So I have that. And stuff like that. I'll keep that, our memories. Like when I go through my drawers and I see them and I'm like, oh, look how little they are.
So Bridget, we need you to log in, honey, onto the link.
I emailed you Necessities 101 last night, and you logged.
So we can't pull you into the show until you get onto the link. So grab onto that link, and as soon as we see you pop up to the box, we'll bring you onto the show so we can get you on. And so just while we're waiting for her to come on, so a friend of mine, her ex, the father of her daughter, he's not doing well, and he's had cancer for about 6 years, and he's not old. He's only in his late 40s, and her little one is about 8 years old, and he's in hospice at this point. So they've been going to see him a lot over the week, every weekend and stuff. And she was sharing with me how they were doing a hospice is so cool about this. Like they have all, especially when it comes to like younger kids, usually I've only known hospice with elderly people, because that's usually what I shouldn't even say that, because my first husband was only 38 when he passed away, but I wasn't thinking about it because we didn't have kids. But when you have children and you're going into a hospice situation where the one parent is, not well, or maybe even the grandparent, I suppose. So they were doing things with her and the dad. And one of the things that they did, and I almost lost it when she told me, they did a mold of his hand so that the daughter could keep the mold of his hand, which I just thought was just spectacular. I mean, like, oh my God, because we think of things like that with children, like we mold our baby's hand when they're little so we could see when they were little and stuff. But imagine her going into like adulthood having, this is my dad's hand. This is what his hand used to look like, and they were having him write letters to her for when she graduates high school, when she gets married. I was just like, so the more she's talking, I'm going, oh God, you got to stop. Cause like, this is just like hitting me. So
you have to do that.
Yeah, beautiful.
With Eric, I had recorded Eric before ALS took the muscles in his tongue. Hold on. Somebody's at my door. Like, what the hell? Who's at my door at this time in the morning?
Yes. They better have food.
Hi. Yes. Thank you. She don't bother. I'm Margarita, her daughter. Just put Margie.
So anyway,
Yes.
come on, baby girl.
Thank you.
Come on, or else you can't get on the show, my friend. And Michelle, we're gonna. So Michelle says that she's worked at Connecticut Hospice for years. Hospice cares for the entire family. Oh, Bridget says she's not seeing the link. So
When I emailed it to you, Bridget, click on it, and I sent like all of February's links, and I told you would click on February 9.
February 11.
11, yeah, that's the one I meant. Did you resend it?
Here, let me see if I can copy it to a clipboard. Here, I'm going to copy this to Bridget. Don't anybody click on this link. Let me see if this works. I'm sending it through Facebook. Watch everybody jump on. Well, I can control who comes on, but Bridget, I just put it in the comments. So see if you can click on that and get in, or check your email. So, and while we're waiting too, just to let everyone know, once again, we want to remind you that go to the Facebook page, go to the events page, and see what we have coming up so that you know that you can plan for it, schedule it. You can put yourself in for being notified for alerts when we're going to go live. We would love and appreciate that. Share. Ask people to follow us. Ask people to follow us on YouTube and subscribe. Ask people to put us in notifications so that they can get notified when we go live. And the other thing is that if you want to be a guest, if you have something great to say, just reach out to us, and then we'll send, email us. We have an email, vivacafeconleche2@gmail.com, and then email us, and then we'll send you a link to set up a conversation, and then we can pick a date and pick a topic and talk. So, or if you know anyone that would like to be on it, then by all means, just do that and send them over to us. And again, if when we do get everything linked in, you have to make sure that you check your emails for the links to get onto the show, because sometimes even the links don't always work for people. So we ask them to try to log in the day before. So Bridget, I don't know one more. Let me see. Bridget, put your email address in the chat box, and I'm gonna send it through email. I'm gonna have to do it that way. So I'll do that.
So anyway, with the hospice thing, yeah, I had Eric record a video for each one of his children. Like in December, he passed away in March. And then in January, he got aspirated pneumonia. So it was downhill from that. But I didn't send it to the kids until after the funeral. And they each got their individual video. So that's smart. And then with Eric, I would create, where is it? Can anybody see that blue painting back there?
Yeah.
It's art that I had him do with his wheelchair. I would put paint, either throw the canvas on the floor or on his wheels. And then on some of the very first one we did, I walked alongside his wheelchair. So my footprints are in red while his wheels are in all the different colors.
That's beautiful.
So that we call it the essence of life. And that's what I was writing my to the VA for me to do that with all the other ALS patients and their families, so that they'll have something once they pass. Because once you have ALS, it's 2 to 5 years. If you live longer, then you're lucky. So that they would always have something that their spirits joined in and did together, which would be that piece of art. But then my mom got sick and I went to Connecticut, and then I come back, and a week later we're in the pandemic. But I think I'm going to do that, because that's always that's my piece of art. Like that one, I put it everywhere. I have several other ones, I've donated to fundraisers of ALS so that they can get money. But that blue one, he made 2 weeks before he died. So that's real special to me. And I think that for people to do that, especially the children, to walk on each side of the daddy's wheelchair and their footprints be right alongside his wheels.
That's a great
idea. Something that when they grow up, they have it, they get married, they take it, they go to college, they can take it. So it's something that they can carry forever with them.
That's
and
right.
I can make them in any size because I make my own frames. So that I think, thank you for bringing that up, because that's another idea I could start doing.
By the way, Bridget, I sent through my Gmail account. So look, it's probably in your junk, Dr. Lori Monaco. Oh, there she is. She got it. All right. We're going to put her on. Yay. There she is. Hey.
Hola.
Hola. Hello. Good morning. Peace and blessings. Sorry about all of the.
It's all right. We had talking. It just shortens you on, by the way. That's the only problem. And I have to say that you made that piece of jewelry that you're wearing.
No, I don't make my jewelry.
Oh.
I go searching high and low for nice pieces.
That's pretty.
That's beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Pick it up. Let me see. Lift it off your chest. Oh, so
I like that. I can I get something like that?
Absolutely.
I'm not one to wear a lot of big jewelry, but I love circles, and especially my big thing has been it's not just a circle, it's a swirl. It's a swirl.
And it has a gem in the center there, look like a topaz.
Oh my God, I love that. I actually want that. Actually want that. So we'll have to.
I love it.
Okay, so let's get rocking and rolling on this. So we're going to be talking about Who Loves You Part 2. In celebration of Valentine's Day. And for those out there that get very depressed around this time period because, I don't have anybody, or I'm not with the person that I really like, or whatever. And so we are really focusing on loving ourselves. And today's conversation specifically is moving on.
Right.
And so we're going to talk about, the first step is, why is it so hard to take the first step? Choosing ourselves and moving on with what's best for us. Why is it easy for some and harder for others? Then we're going to talk about, why do women especially move from one relationship to another, and then end one relationship and they barely give themselves time to heal and they're back looking for another person, time permitting, because we would love to talk about that piece. So let's just first talk about choosing to move forward. When we end one and go on to another, and then start from there and then see how the conversation goes.
Okay. So in my opinion, I have my disclaimer. I am no professional. I just been through some stuff. And all of this is my opinion. And it has taken me up to about 40 years to really get to know myself and to love myself. I had been married for 19 years, almost reaching 20. And I was going through a divorce. And it took maybe 5 years before I actually moved on. And when I decided to move on, I had a plan. I was already broken. I was already unhappy. So I actually moved from South Carolina back here to Connecticut. And the process was not an easy process. And I remember I was at Family Dollar, and a lady, a church member of mine, had said, I told her what I was about to do. I'm packing the children up and I'm leaving. I'm going back home to Connecticut. I'm going to get my divorce in Connecticut. And this lady said something. Her name is Claudine Schofield. And I don't even think I ever told her this. But at that moment, when I told her that, she said, you're going to be fine. You are a survivor. And those words resonated with me. And it gave me the extra push, that I needed to get out of my situation. And she had no idea. So that's why I want to be very careful with advice that I give anyone today, because our words are powerful. But she instilled in me, like she told me, you're going to be fine. You're a survivor. Back then, Beyonce's song was out. I'm a survivor. I'm not going to give up. So I started listening to that song, and I just started making plans to exit. And it was the best thing that I've done, moving to Connecticut, bringing my kids up here and everything. It wasn't the easiest.
Right.
I had some good days and I had some bad days. I had some mountaintop experiences and I had some valley lows, but I got through it. And again, in regard to loving yourself, you got to put yourself forward. First. You got to put yourself first. You look in the mirror and you said, I am worth it. I want more. I'm going to have more. And you got to understand that it's going to be a process.
That's key. You must understand that it is a process. It is not an overnight success. In anything we do, especially moving on, it's a process. There's going to be, buckets of salty tears. There's going to be, not brushing your hair. There's so many different things that happen to different people.
That's what I said.
But,
mountain tops and valley lows.
Yes, and trusting the process. Yep.
I think too that one of the biggest pieces is that push. For some people it is easier, and sometimes it's that whatever happened in the relationship, if it was a big push outward and the person was already on the edge, it's easier for them to move forward and walk and be like, bye, see ya, I'm leaving, and I am going to let the door hit me in the ass because I'm out of here. They don't care. And then there's other times where there's still even it could have been something that was really big that pushed you. There's still that emotional connection, and it takes one person to give you that little confidence to say you're going to be fine.
Exactly.
You're going to get through this.
She don't know how much that meant to me, and to this day I still remember it. I remember where I was. I just remember the whole experience, that when I felt empowered, that even I didn't see it in myself, she saw that I was strong. Yeah, she saw I was going to be okay, so that made me like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna do this. I got to do this. Yeah. But yeah, you have to love yourself, and know when it's time to go. And I know people who leave and go back, but if you're really going to move on, have an action plan. Have an action plan. Know that, it's not going to always be easy, but it's going to be worth it in the end because you're putting yourself first. You want better, so, and we all deserve the love that we give. And we as women are nurturers. We love hard, a lot of us. I can't speak for everybody. Can't speak for everybody, but I know that I love very hard.
Because you're a Sagittarius.
You know it.
Wow. We love. Love makes the world go round.
When you lose a Sagittarius, you lose a good one. I'm telling you. Yes.
I think that when you say, you just knowing that you say that, like, I love hard, that's being aware of who you are, saying that you deserve to get what you put out. Like, if you're putting out that much love and that much respect and that much nurturing, you deserve it to come back to you. Right. That's also the awareness. And that is also having really great self-love, because we go into a relationship and we're not completely, we're a little broken. And then we're looking for that relationship to fill in what's missing in us. And that's usually always the worst way to do it. And that's probably why so many women go from one to another. And it's not saying that men don't do it. It's just that we see it more time, or maybe we see it because we are women and we hear the stories from women. Maybe men don't share it as much, but women will go from one to the other to the other. They'll break up, but they'll be like, oh my God, I was miserable, or he broke up with me, or I finally broke up with him. And they swear off men and they're not doing it again. And then all of a sudden, like 3 weeks later, they're with somebody, or 2 weeks later, they're on a dating site. And, I've witnessed this numerous times with family members, with friends. And I'd be like, really? You're like, why don't you just take some time for yourself? And, and then they'll start talking about, I was talking to this guy and blah, blah, blah. And I'll be like, you just ended something. Like, don't you just want to sort of like relax a little bit, get to know yourself again? And they just don't want to.
I've been in that situation. Go ahead.
Because I think that when that happens, it's because they don't know, they're not comfortable in their own skin. They need to be validated by a man, not anybody. They need a man to make them feel beautiful and wanted. They're uncomfortable in their alone space. So they need to fill it with something where they can keep pouring from themselves. And then when they're dry, then they're like, well, you're not giving me attention because that's how you started it. Yeah. So I think when you develop that self-love and that self-knowing that you deserve more, you're going to constantly jump from man to man.
Okay.
Okay. Go ahead.
I got to get used to this sharing the mic. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I know. I'm done. Go ahead.
I was told some bad advice before, but it was fun advice. I mean, it's not for everybody. But to get over a man is to get under a man, to get under a new man.
Un clavo saca otro
not
clavo.
The best advice.
No.
But I love attention. I love the energy of a male. So I went through the same thing. I didn't give myself time to heal. Now, my last breakup was a 2-year span, and I did give myself time to, go within and just abstain from everything, and it was the best thing I've done in a long time. And my best friend used to always tell me that, you're okay. You don't need a man. You don't understand. I like attention from a man. That's me. You're married, but when I took a 2-year break and I abstained from everything, I did, chat every now and then here or there, but that was a good time for me to get to know me, see my strengths and, but bad advice. I mean, to a degree, because
it is bad advice.
To a degree, because we need a male counterpart sometimes. That energy from a man is good, but you can't take it literally, get under the man. But it's okay to have coffee or tea and go out on dates and things
and
like
just,
that.
And just be on top. Just be on top.
Whatever suits you. But you know what though? If you can handle that, then it's not bad advice. But the vast majority of us women cannot, because we are more heartfelt. So even a sexual act is so connecting that we instantly, like if you sleep with them and you just say, okay, I'm just going to get under him one night. And, and then what is it in Spanish? Just one night. And you get under one night but that you can't just pull away and be like, see ya, because it just we don't work that way. Some do, I suppose, but I know I don't. So for me, it would have to be like, holy crap, I would have to really be focused and just going in there and getting that thing. And then that's out, then that's it,
Then you end up going back to something familiar too. It ain't always a new dude. It might be somebody that you're familiar with too.
The lonelies. And I think that Bridget, you started young like I did. And I think that because I was married at 16 to my daughter's father. So, and then at 32, I was single for a year. That was it. And then I wasn't. And then my husband died in March 2017. And it wasn't until like almost a year later. No, it was a year later that I had a seasonal love affair. And that pierced my heart. That was Cupid's little arrow, but it was a seasonal thing. And it's been now over a year that I have chosen celibacy and myself. But from the time my husband passed till today, it's been me time.
Right.
That seasonal affair was good. It felt good. I enjoyed the company. The conversation was exhilarating. I mean, it fit what I needed.
Right.
And like the badass Buddha says that it's not for everybody, because I love. I'm a hopeless romantic because I've always been in a love relationship. Well, this seasonal love affair was just supposed to be that. But again, my heart was like, no, we got to love him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I understood that it was just me and it was my emotions dancing fiercely. I couldn't hold him accountable to what never was promised, Right. So, and I think that comes with maturity.
I just want to mention Charles Brown wrote, move on with love, ladies, and true love will come so you can move to your relationship that love will not move.
Yeah, well, I'm not looking for love. I don't need love. I admire beauty in men. I have 2 good male friends. One comes over for coffee in the morning, and on occasion, the other one comes in the evenings for a glass of wine. And they're platonic and they're strictly friends, and we can talk about everything. And for right now, that satisfies my palate of a man companion.
There you go.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And
you said something, Bridget, you said something about how a lot of times we go back to the familiar, and that is very true. That is why you see a lot of people going back to the ex, whether it's a long-term, going back into a relationship, or more just a booty call or something like that, because there's that familiar, playing safe, even though you don't necessarily like the person or you want to be around the person, but you just don't want to also go back out and sort of put yourself out there and think, oh my God, I'm going to have my heart broken. So I can control it with this person, but I don't know what's going to happen with the next person,
Right.
And again, it's taking that time for yourself. Like you said, 2 years to just date yourself. You dated yourself. You got to know yourself. You fell in love with yourself. And then it becomes very clear what you really want, and for sure what you don't want. And then if somebody does happen to come along, like some man does happen to come into your space, you could see very clearly, oh, I want this. I want to get to know this person. Or, yeah, I don't think so.
Right.
Because your vision is so much clearer.
Exactly. Yes, absolutely.
Self-love.
I would advise that. I would advise every woman, once you move on, to take time out for yourself. Take yourself to restaurants, sit at the bar by yourself, communicate with different people. Just get out of your comfort zone. Put your grown behind woman panties on and handle your life. Take it by the horns and just fall in love with yourself. Write it down what you want. Be specific. What type of man you want.
Yes.
How you want to live.
Listen, wait, I got to say something about that. So this is very true. So ladies, years ago when I was in college, there was a book that I read. It was called The Man Plan. Unfortunately, I didn't have a good, clear plan and made some really bad choices. So even though I read the book, I did follow the directions, but I actually give this to my clients. So this is for clients that are in relationships that they're not happy with, or they just ended a relationship. And whether a man or woman, I'll say it's either the woman plan or the man plan. And you write down exactly what you want in a person. And somebody can say, oh, well, that's awful. How do you plan that? No, it's just like anything. If you want whatever you want in your life, you write it down and say, this is what I want, whether it's for your business. Okay, so a mate, there's nothing wrong with that. Down to the detail, the characteristics, the personality traits, the income that they make, their financial outcome at this moment in time, their career, how many hours they work, and you be as detailed as possible. And the goal is so that you see what's important to you.
Yes.
And then this way, because I think that if everybody takes the time to actually do this, whether you're a man or a woman, if you take the time to do this, when the other people present themselves to you, then you start to look at it, go, well, let me compare to my plan. And then we say to ourselves, well, it doesn't have to be exactly. Okay, but if you're going to compromise, you're going to take some of that off, then you better take off the stuff that really doesn't matter to you that much. Like, I want somebody with a perfectly straight nose. This guy's got a big nose. Okay, is that big of a deal to you? Or, hey, this guy swears a lot, or hey, this guy, is not, he's a little controlling and I'm not really thrilled about that. Okay, that's a big one.
Right.
That's not a good compromise.
Right.
But a big nose, hairy back. Guys are hairy, that is what it is,
Yeah.
And but Bridget, what would you suggest? Go ahead. You were gonna
sorry.
Just piggybacking off of Lori, there's something called the 80-20 rule.
Yes.
Because you can't build a man. You know, no one is perfect, So with my list, if the 80 outweighs the 20, I'll go with the 80 in this man, and we'll build and we'll work together. I've already, established that in my mind, that I know I'm not going to have the perfect mate. It might be perfect for me, but there might be some things that I will compromise on, because we're only human. I'm not perfect. So I am who I am. I want someone to accept me for who I am as I accept them for who they are. But
and that's important.
There's some red flags. You don't want the controlling. You don't want the abusive. You don't want the verbal abuse, the emotion. You don't want that. So think healthy, be healthy, look for a healthy mate.
But
so that's the question, Margarita.
No. It's about the 80-20 is good. Can you explain the 80-20 to the people listening?
Yes. If you have a partner and they are doing the most for you, the most being 80, but he may not get out there and cut the grass right on time, or he might throw his pants over to the corner and miss the laundry basket.
It's
You
good
can deal
analogy.
with that because he's providing and
That
treating
doesn't
you
annoy me,
like a
though.
queen and loving on you. You can deal with that little 20% that he doesn't clean up behind himself all the time. That's something you really can work on. So you just got to weigh it. You got to make sure that the good outweigh the bad.
That does drive me nuts, though. For God's sakes, the hamper's right
toilet
there.
seat, come on.
Pick it up and put it in there, for God's sake.
That never bothered me. That never bothered. Not that my husband was messy like that. None. My
I like that with my kids.
my first love of my life and my Eric, they were never like that. But I don't like the toilet seat down.
Mm-hmm.
See, I'm opposite. When you're done, make sure the toilet seat stays up when the guys are in there, and wipe the thing. And when the females go in, I'm like, you gotta lift the toilet seat. I like to see my toilet like clean and make sure. I don't know. I like the toilet seat up.
Mm-hmm.
Call me crazy, but that's just how I am. But absolutely. See, we forget that we get our menstrual monthly, and some are horrendous to deal with. And their excuse is, well, it's my period. I can't help it. Yes, you can't help your attitude during that, right? But we tend to say, oh, it's my period. I'm moody. My breasts hurt. Whatever the hell, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then when we go into perimenopause, so we're not perfect. So we got to recognize. And for those that are young and you're going to complain over his pants over your chair in your room or missing the laundry, what are you doing every month? Because I'm sure you're being a big asshole once a month because you have all these cramps and you're bleeding, or you bled through your clothes and blah, blah. There's always a chaos with ourselves. So I think that's where the compromising comes in. So that 20% shouldn't be such a break in, like, oh, I can't deal with him. He's messy.
Well, listen, the reality is that if you're bitching about the underwear on the floor and making a big deal of it, there's more to the underwear on the floor. It's not about the underwear on the floor. It is about something bigger that you are using that as the excuse. Because Bridget, you are absolutely right. It's like when we look at the bigger picture and, say, well, they do this, this, and this, I could let the underwear on the floor go. That's right. And when you look at it, you realize, you say, okay, what I think women do though, is that they could say, well, he cuts the grass and he does all these extra chores. So that's, I'm really grateful. So that's good. But meanwhile, he treats her like crap, or he's mean to her, or he's belittling, or he stays out late and he's, playing her on the side or something like that. And when you start shifting those into, that's where you have to say, okay, the 28, like those are big 80s, like those are not okay. And so then the cutting of the grass and cleaning dishes and doing laundry is a 20, so you have to flip it too. You have to like really be clear about knowing what is the 80 versus the 20 and what's the 20 versus the 80. But I do like that. The 20-80 rule is or 80-20 rule is, I mean, they've used that even with
good needs to outweigh the bad.
All day. And I think, Bridget, and the moving on and Badass Buddha, I think with the moving on, I think it's also a great blessing in disguise for us. Because sometimes we know we need to move on, but we don't know how to go about it, and then it just happens. Right. And I think, I always think that God always leads us where we have to go. And I think that when that happens, it's like you see this long road and you get overwhelmed because you don't know which way to go, but the road that you're supposed to be on is just very clear. Right. And that's where the self-discovery. And I don't think there's anything more precious, there's anything more priceless than any diamonds and Rolls Royces, gifts that you can get, than self-discovery. And realizing that, I'm perfectly imperfect. Right. And this is how God made me. And when I do decide to go into a relationship, we have to lay out the boundaries. We have to have clear, because to me, if we have clear communication, we can go into any battle together. but there needs to be communication. What are you willing to compromise? What our core values are? What's your moral compass look like? When we fail to do that, then guess what we're doing? We're fucking moving on how many times in our lives?
Right.
And the clear guru, the clear boundary too, is when you set the clear boundary, you also have to hold the boundary after, because you could easily say to somebody, this is what is okay. This is what not. Everybody agrees, shake hands, fine. And then the first time it happens where it messes with the boundary. If you don't, and I know this from experience, personal experience, if you do not nip it in the bud at that moment and be like, I don't think so. I'm not tolerating this crap. Then otherwise it gets pushed. And then once the boundary starts to get pushed once, twice, 3 times, then that is that. And that sets the tone moving forward. And it gets really hard to shift. Mm-hmm. And so in the mind of, the individual, the woman or whoever it is, they'll say, oh, well, I'll fix it after, or we'll work on this now. And then after a while, it's too late. And then you have to say to yourself, you know what? I'm worth more than this. I told you in the beginning, this isn't the way it's going to be. You did it anyway. I didn't hold my boundary. I got to be accountable for that piece, and I'm out. Mm-hmm. And that's it. And I'm going to love me, because that was not fair what you did. You changed the rules, but I allowed it. Mm-hmm. And now it's time
that's exactly what I was going to go back and say. We cannot blame the other party if we're slacking on the boundaries we put into place in the beginning. Yeah. We cannot blame the other party for hurting us if we allow the bullshit to slide just because we found a comfort zone. Mm-hmm. I think as women, put your big girl panties on, own up to where you failed, mm-hmm. and then say, is this fixable? Because if you slacking on the word you gave because you didn't want to have any riffraff happen, you didn't want no disappointment, then maybe you can still have that deep conversation and say, look, I was a little unsure. Let's talk about what we want and let's see if we're still a match. Because mm-hmm. sometimes we do move on from our chosen gifts mm-hmm. because we didn't like something or because we failed to put our part in. And then we're like, well, he ain't picking up the slack, I'm out. Because I've met all types of women who've ruined all types of relationship. And then I've met women who are too blinded to the negative part of their relationship that they still hanging on thinking they can fix it. You gotta mm-hmm. be one with yourself.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that your rose-colored glasses come the fuck off and you can really see what's happening in real time. Mm-hmm. Live your blessing.
Can we just mention some of the comments? Because we had some really great comments. So Nicole Young, good morning, Nicole Young, by the way. Never hold the line up for the right person. If it's like the love of your life having the wrong address, God will bring you out in divine timing. So you had mentioned that, Gladiator Guru. Nicole Young writes again, don't bring the luggage full, bring it empty. Peace is a required taste. Lillian says, yes, I took 10 years to truly know me, truly love me. Lillian writes, be specific about what you pray for. I got everything I wanted. I was just not specific about the package. And she writes, LOL. Amen to that. Good morning, Tiffany Torres came on and
my daughter. Hi, baby.
She says, so Nicole says, had that he was a package drunk weekends, let that shit go. And Tiffany Torres says, I agree 100%. And Michelle's joking about the underwear. He could hit a 3-point shot in a basketball court, but not get his underwear in the basket. Yes. And then Charles Brown says, find that man, love God more than he loves you. If he is real with God, he have no choice but be real with you, and love will never leave. Stuff will come and go, but love won't. And Tiffany Bryan, everything comes back to communicating, the start of a positive relationship. Yes.
I believe that.
But wait, I do have to say one thing about communication. You also, the better you know you, the better your bullshit meter is also. And I know Guru loves to talk about this. Like you've mentioned bullshit meter so many times in our conversations over this year. And the fact that when we know ourselves, we'll know if somebody is also BSing us. So we could say communication is great. And because I'm saying this from experience, I have had some very great communicators that I've been involved with, whether significant others or friends, but they were also massive bullshitters. And
because you drew your blinds down not to see what they were really about.
Exactly. And so the communicate, and so if somebody said, hey, do you guys communicate? Yeah, we talk all the time. It's like, yeah, but talking all the time, but then this one is saying one thing and then doing a whole different thing,
Right.
and outside of whatever. And it's like, so we have to also be very specific about communication. And again, it all starts with knowing us, knowing who we are, taking time to get to know us, what's important to us, what is okay, what is not okay, and then being very eyes wide open in that process.
Well, I think like Mary Kay said, it's God, then it's me, and then it's everyone else. And if you truly believe and you wake up every morning in gratitude and you gave thanks to your higher power that you have life today, then you will love yourself, because to love God, you must love yourself, because God is in us, right? So when we start mistreating ourselves, what are we saying? We're not living in our gratitude towards the Creator. And, like I say, God is always first. Yeah. And I think that with clear communication, but you need to know what you're going to ask, badass Buddha. You got to say, listen, I don't talk, when I'm with the man, you ain't hanging out on the weekends. That's bachelor shit. So when we're together, we go out together. I don't have to always go out. If it's your job,
say my name.
If you're going to be out because it's your job, then it's your job. And I met you like that. But you hanging out every weekend with your friends, no, that's your drive solo. I don't do that. And it's not controlling. It's just, why are you out there to 3 or 4 o'clock? The only things open at that hours are thighs, my nigga. I'm home. So that's just a joke my husband used to always say. But I think that, no, in communication, be specific what you want, because there's men that when they're in a relationship, it's about home life. It's about building that solid foundation with that woman and creating a castle for the king and the queen to be comfortable in.
Absolutely.
And I think when you get involved in a relationship, that single life idea goes out the window. You don't need to be hanging out with your friends, especially in our age. Yeah. How does that look? No, you have a girls trip, have a guys trip. You go out with some people one weekend, I go out with my girls on another weekend, then we go out together in another weekend. That's fear. We're two totally individuals who happen to be in love, building a future. So that, there has to be space within us. Like Khalil Gibran says, let there be space between you. Like the pillars of the temple stand together, yet apart. Yeah. And that's how we need to remember how we need to drive our relationship. Do it with prayer, be specific, and love unconditionally. And when you love unconditionally, you can say, what the hell are you doing? How many conversations we got to have of you throwing your clothes on the floor? You're not in college. Pick your shit up. Boom. That's how you got to say it. Then he's going to get it like, oh, let me not do that again next time. And sometimes we got to teach each other what each other likes, right?
Absolutely.
Oh, that's
love.
But
that's love.
You can't assume. You can't assume. And if, listen, we know there's that book that Irma Bombeck said, don't sweat the small stuff. And it's like, but you know what? Here's the deal, though. If it really does bother you that the toilet seat is left down, like for you, Guru, then you just need to train the person. I like it this way, and this is why. And if it's
badass, I train everybody who comes to my house and uses my bathroom. Ask anybody, and if anybody knows me is on this chat, write it. They have to spray my seat with bleach every time they use it. I don't play. Those are the rules to my house. So there's like my friend Byron, he don't even use my bathroom. I say, you must be a messy pisser, right? Because that's just how it is. And or I have Clorox wipes. That's just me. That's just how I've always
you said it. You communicated it. There's no guesswork, in other words, and that's just it. It's like, and you follow suit with it, and you hold the boundary for it. Like it's, if somebody forgot and you'd be like, did you forget something? Could you go back? And then, oh yeah, no, I forgot. Get your ass back in there and go do it.
I'll tell, I see people walking out, like when my niece lived here with her fiance.
Yep. Spray bleach, every use. That's a Tiffany.
Yeah. And he would like, his friends would come over and they'll use the bathroom. And one day this guy walks out and I said, you didn't wash your hands and you touched my doorknob. He didn't even know me. He ran back in there, because when I live a certain way, and I just, even if it's me by myself, my doorknobs get washed, all of that has to happen. So if I'm going to be with you, you got to learn me, because those are little irritants, right? So I'm sorry, Bridget. Go ahead. Say what you got to say. No. But Nicole says in relationships, we fall in love with ourselves and the way we love hard. So we think it's them loving us back, and it's actually just us. Absolutely, Nicole. I wrote a piece about that. I wrote how sometimes love will just appear like a walk-in, right? And you'll feel, you'll dance fiercely with your emotions, and sometimes they won't love you back. But love is supposed to be free, right? So when you love, we love God. He doesn't come down and hug us, but we know that it's there, and we're not expecting it. We just love, and sometimes that's the problem in relationships: lack of communication and expectations and assumptions. Well, he knows me. He should know I don't like this.
Oh yeah.
But I'm moving on. I love what you said, Bridget. You said, this is your time. You've been 2 years free now. You've learned, and the moving on. You love to love yourself. And I think that's the message that the Badass Buddha and I wanted you to relay to the listeners, that in moving on, you can find peace.
Absolutely.
And it only comes from yourself, God, praying and meditating. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, I think Badass, isn't that what we wanted? We wanted the people to know that moving on is hard and painful, but it's so doable and it's so rewarding.
Yes.
And celebrate yourself. Like when you move on, take yourself out to dinner and say why you're taking yourself out to dinner. Buy yourself flowers or buy yourself something, really fantastic, and say it. I'm doing this because I love me, and I'm proud of what I've done. And I don't think we do that enough in general. It's just anything we do really well, we don't say we're proud of ourselves that much.
God, I do. That's why I tell everybody to celebrate themselves. I'll be like, yup, magically orgasmic. Yeah. That's me. Yeah. And that could be doing whatever I'm doing in the house. I finished painting. I was like, ooh, you're so magically orgasmic, Margie. What?
Pat yourself on the back.
That's it. That's it.
And I would like to say, know your worth and know that you are the prize. You are the prize. I mean, God has blessed women with some amazing gifts and intuitions and talents. How they say you can buy someone, how is it? You buy a house, but the woman makes it the home. So, know your worth and know that you are the prize.
That's correct. Yep.
Absolutely. And I think women need to hear that. Good morning, Marina. Women that needs to be like on replay. Mm-hmm. Because a lot of women who are so strong, I know you've come across them, but they don't know how to rise. They feel stuck. They've been beaten up in life, and so they stay in their comfort zone. It's not that they're weak. It's just that they need assistance in digging themselves out.
Yes.
Key word, they need assistance in digging themselves out. And the tools we provide are the motivation and inspiration that you are worthy. You are the prize. Let's get up and do this. And that's sometimes that's all we need to tell these people.
That's right.
So thank you for that. Thank you.
And Bridget, thank you for coming on. And we have
thank you for having me.
Is that right? Instagram Necessities 101, right? That's how we get in touch with you.
Yes.
Okay.
And Facebook, I have a Facebook business page, and Necessities 101 on Facebook as well.
Okay, so it's on Facebook. Okay, I could actually fix that. So Guru, why don't you say some last statements, Bridget? I'm just going to fix this really quick so that they have all the proper information to get in touch with you.
Talk about your jewelry, because I guess the Badass Buddha and I are going to be sporting the same necklace.
Okay, I have it in silver and gold.
I like silver.
Yeah. I gotta have it in silver too.
I'll send you each a picture, the images of what I have available in this type. Even better, like there's some more colorful ones. I'll send them to you individually.
Oh, that sounds great. That sounds great. And thank you so much for coming on, Bridget.
Thank y'all so much for having me. I enjoyed this. I wanted to go on for another hour.
I know. Yeah, we have that effect.
So much more.
We feel the same way with the show.
About this subject. Moving on.
We feel the same. Well, we could have you on. I mean, we could have you on. We could have you on the night show. This Friday.
Tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night.
What's the topic of discussion tomorrow?
The topic is, I have it right here.
It's this and then some. It's fairly open, but Gladiator wanted to start with this particular one.
I want to speak about charging through the roadblocks.
Okay.
Like, stop getting in your own way. Stop stopping you. I read that on Instagram. I was like, oh my God, that goes well with this topic, which I wrote up a couple days ago. And it's about, we purposely choose the roads that say construction work, detour. We choose it because it's easy.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's gonna be that. But then we're gonna talk a little bit about everything because that's what we do. We got 2 hours of uninterrupted podcast time
Okay.
from 10 p.m. to midnight, and I think it's fantabulous. And yeah, we pretty much just talk about everything. But I just want to say real quick, Marina says it took me 4 years of psychotherapy. But that's what stopped me from not loving myself. 4 years of psychotherapy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Nicole said, "Ad writes necklace on my tarot page. Call me." I'm assuming she's talking to Bridget.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
Brown said, "Yes, Bridget Williams, you were so right and badass. You too. May God bless you all." Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
And Nicole, you're supposed to call me, so if you're still on. But yeah, I just think any last words, because we're gonna give our last words.
Okay. For those who are moving on, I want you to vision yourself being whole again. Vision yourself being happy. And you'll get there.
Yes.
So vision yourself being whole and vision yourself being happy. I like that. Perfect. Badass Buddha, you want to close out?
The only thing I want to say is just I want to tell everybody happy Valentine's Day and really celebrate yourself this weekend. Celebrate your love. If you have a significant other, that's totally fantastic. Celebrate with them as well, but also take a moment for yourself to celebrate. Maybe take a bath, put some rose petals in. I don't care, but just
music, music, music.
That's right.
Love all day.
Yeah, it's beautiful love songs, music.
Bridget, Lillian be like, "What? Aren't you busy?" Because I'd be sending her the videos of the Spanish music that like touch my soul, and then I could be so busy. I'm like, "Oh my God!" And then I share it with her. She's like, "It's nice," and I'm like, "What do you mean it's nice? This like moved my whole spirit. I had a whole out of my body experience with the melody of that song." But yeah, music.
Be careful what you listen to when you're going through your changes. You don't want to be, "Oh, woe is me." You want some empowerment music.
I do, but that moves me. Like I listen to cello music, and that's like, oh my God.
Yes.
I love music. So to me, all of it is, I don't listen to all that name calling, self proclamation of kings and queens, and the cello music I love and the guitar music and the flamenco.
Yeah. I love jazz. Yeah.
Oh my God, jazz is always there. Boom, that's on point. But yeah, so thank you for that, Badass Buddha. Happy Valentine's Day to everybody too. Happy Valentine's. Feliz Dia de Amor.
And then on Tuesday we will have we'll be talking about someday. We'll be talking about making plans someday, and we're going to try to make someday today. So we're going to talk about that for next week. Okay. So anyway, again, join us tomorrow night, 10 p.m. to 12 a.m. on Blog Talk Radio, Viva Moms After Dark. And you can call in. We posted it. Just go to the Facebook page on the events. It has the phone number to call in if you want to be on the show. And that's it. So you guys have a great weekend. And from the Badass Buddha, remember, be you, be real, and be extraordinary.
Mi gente, remember, breathe in the beauty and breathe out the bullshit. Namaste.
Namaste.